Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm News 8 meteorologist Ashley Baylor. I'm here in the News 8 Now Stream Center. Welcome back to our little streaming show here, if you will. It has been beautiful outside today. I know temperatures have been a touch cooler, especially across the northern half of Connecticut, but here at the shoreline, we're still in the 70s. And I mean, we've been setting record highs for the past 2 days at Bradley International. I mean, we hit 84 degrees at Bradley International yesterday. So that is twice we've hit 84 at Bradley International since the start of November, and it's only November 7th, so 2 times over. We've actually set the record high temperature for the entire month, not just necessarily for the day, but warmest days for the entire month. So where are we right now? We're at 67 up in Windsor Locks. We're at about 73 here in New Haven. So it is just nice and comfortable outside. I'm sure you're noticing that wind. That wind, a little bit of a pest if you're trying to get out there and rake the leaves, that's for sure. We're at 68 degrees in Hartford. It's 69 in New London, about 70 in Danbury. So the difference in temperatures today is this, a switch in the wind direction. Past couple of days, those winds have been out of the southwest, drawing in that nice warm air. Today, the winds are out of the northwest, ranging anywhere between 9 to about 15 miles per hour. So technically drawing in that cooler air, but not really cool. I mean, we're not even seasonal here. Now, here's what's interesting. Kind of glad this popped up. Earlier today, we were under an elevated fire risk. So we've been talking about that for 2 weeks at this point, almost going on 3 weeks. Now we have a red flag warning that has been hoisted not just for us here in Connecticut, but for Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So I've really been emphasizing that even the slightest spark on days like this can get out of control quickly. I'm talking something as simple as flicking a cigarette into dry grass, dry mulch, or those dry leaves. And if it sparks and gets carried by this wind, it'll seriously get out of control quickly. And we are parched here. Our drought status updated today. You can see all of Connecticut is under a moderate drought, and that extends through Massachusetts into Rhode Island. So we're in good company here. But notice up towards Worcester and Boston, a little bit worse. They're in a severe drought, so we are in desperate need for some rain. And we're not just talking about 1 day of rain. We really need 2 to even 3 days of a good soaking rain to really absorb into the ground because the soil moisture content is about 0 to 10%. So what we don't want is to get all of the rain at once because it'll essentially just run off. We need a good soaking rain. We need it to really get into the ground. And the thing is, if this drought continues to get worse, it is going to affect the trees heading into next year because they're going to get really stressed. So let's take a look at our hour by hour. This, well, not too menacing. As we head into the evening and overnight hours, we'll be under mainly clear skies. This time it is going to be a noticeably cooler start to your day. Friday will start with temperatures in the low to mid 40s. We've been kind of spoiled the last few mornings where temperatures have started more in the 50s. As we head through the day tomorrow, absolutely beautiful outside. Well, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures a little more widespread in the 60s across the state. That's still above average for this time of year. We really should be in the mid to upper 50s. Now, here we are at 7 o'clock Friday. Any high school football games going on, you will be perfectly fine. And I'm going to talk about some college games coming up in just a minute here. But let's take a quick trip to the tropics. Let's talk about Hurricane Rafael. Moved over the western tip of Cuba yesterday. It is in the Gulf of Mexico with winds still sustained at 100 miles per hour. So this is still a Category 2 hurricane, and it is moving more west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. The track of this has been quite fascinating over the last 48 hours because 2 days ago on Tuesday, Rafael looked to get into the Gulf of Mexico and take a sharp turn north up towards the Louisiana coastline, mostly near New Orleans. Then yesterday, the track was more westerly, possibly landfall somewhere between Houston and Corpus Christi. Now you can see the track heads west and then takes a sharp dive down to the south into the bay there, where it will likely weaken to a tropical storm and essentially just become a remnant low. It's going to kind of spin itself out there. Well, typically, when we talk about these storms getting into the Gulf of Mexico, they feed off of that warm water. And even though, yes, the water is still quite warm, Rafael's going to run into some dry air and also some wind shear. So when we're talking about wind shear, it tears these storms apart. It really can't stack up. So I'm really grateful that this is kind of not only making a turn away from the U.S., but it's essentially going to fizzle itself out because the last thing we need in any of the Gulf states is another landfalling tropical storm or hurricane. So tonight, closer to home, mainly clear, seasonally chilly as temperatures dip down into the 40s. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine. It is still going to be above average with temperatures in the low to mid and even upper 60s at the shoreline. Let's take a look at your 8-day. Oh, no, hold on. Before I get to your 8-day, let's talk about your game day forecast. So if you're looking for something to do on Saturday, we only have 3 weeks left of regular season college games here. So we got the Coast Guard Bears. They are kicking off at noon against Maritime. Temperatures will be in the low 50s. We got Yale playing Brown at noon as well, with temperatures right around 50 degrees for kickoff. The Trinity Bantams, Sarah Cody's alma mater, they'll be playing Wesleyan, so a little bit of a battle in Connecticut there. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s for kickoff, which is also at noon. And let's keep it going. Another kickoff at noon. We got Sacred Heart taking on LIU. Temperatures will be in the low 50s there. Now, we'll get to your 8-day shoreline forecast. So we're looking at lots of sunshine on Saturday. Temperatures coming down into the more seasonal 50s. So that's where it will start to feel more like November. What a thought. Now, Sunday, expect more clouds there. If you have any outdoor activities planned for Sunday, you should be fine because we won't be tracking a chance for rain until really later in the evening, mostly into the overnight hours into early Monday morning. But my hope is that we're going to get rid of these rain showers very early on Monday. Monday is Veterans Day, and we don't want anything happening during those Veterans Day ceremonies. We want them to be able to go off without the rain getting in the way, without a breeze getting in the way, because our veterans, they deserve the best weather possible. I was actually at my daughter's Veterans Day ceremony at her school. It was absolutely wonderful. About 20 veterans showed up to be with the students that were there. It was really great. Unfortunately, my husband couldn't make it. He is a first sergeant in the U.S. Air Force, so I went to represent. Anyway, I digress. Moving along, Tuesday, we'll have lots of sunshine with temperatures in the lower 60s. Then we do come down into the 50s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So eventually things are going to turn more seasonal, but boy, it's been a minute. I'm going to jump on my phone really quickly because I need your help. Tomorrow, I would love to talk about the woolly bear caterpillar. Have you heard of one before? I bet you've seen one at least at one point. It looks like this. I saw one over the weekend when I was in Cromwell and I had to take a picture. This is the woolly bear caterpillar, and this little ball of fuzz right here, it forecasts a little bit of folklore. Sometimes, depending on how much black or brown is on the woolly bear caterpillar determines what kind of winter we could possibly see. So if you have seen the woolly bear caterpillar and you have a picture of it, please send it in to report it at WTNH.com. I would love to do a little more of a deep dive into this tomorrow. Would definitely love to hear from you. And of course, if there's anything you want me to talk about here, I'm more than happy to hear from you. Again, send an email to report it at WTNH.com. You can, of course, always find me on social media as well. We like to keep it light. We like to keep it moving here. Hope you tune in again at 3 o'clock tomorrow. In the meantime, take care, guys.